So I forgot to mention this during the video, so I'm just gonna talk about it now. So my first video reached 1,000 views, the Scottie Pippen video, and I just want to thank you guys for that, because this was one of the first milestones for one of my videos to reach 1,000 views. And I'm just really thankful for that, because it helps me commit to the grind. And I'm thankful for some of y'all for subscribing. And right now I'm currently sitting at 34 subscribers. You know, my goal is to reach 100 and then eventually 1,000 and all of that. But I'm gonna enjoy the moment right now, and I'm very thankful. And if you guys could comment and leave constructive criticism for my videos, it could be very thankful for me, so I can know how to improve my videos, so I can publish more, be more frequent with it. So thank you guys, and your boy Dream Hoops is out, and just enjoy this after the game. Yo YouTube, it's your boy Dream who's back with another video, and today we're back with another after the game. And if you guys are new to this channel, this is a series where I do after the game recaps of NBA games that happened a day prior. So we're going to be doing an after the game for the Warriors versus the Brooklyn Nets, a game that finished out in a blowout win, a game where the Warriors won pretty easily, a game that finished 117-99. It was a blowout. It was a blowout win, but you know, if you watch the game like me, the game was actually close in the first half. It was pretty close. The Brooklyn Nets started off the first 5 minutes going 5 for 5 from the field. The Golden State Warriors offense was a little slow to start off, but they managed to keep up with the Brooklyn's offense. And Curry was just cooking the Nets, just cooking the Brooklyn Nets all throughout the entire game. And he played less than 30 minutes tonight. Curry played less than 30 minutes tonight and still finished with 37 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists, shooting 12 of 19 from the field and 9 for 14 from the three-point line. That's just amazing on 30 minutes less during the game. But what makes this Warriors offense so great, and I alluded to this in my last after the game, is that what makes this Warriors offense so great is Steph Curry's off the ball movement. And it's not even just his shooting, which is just amazing, is when he's moving off the ball screens. He gets so much attention that it gives Wiggins an easy open layup when he's cut into the basket. It gives Damian Lee an open layup when he's cut into the basket. It makes the game easier for the other players when Steph Curry is coming off those off the ball screens. And when Steph Curry does have the ball and he's getting a screen, it forces the defender to step up on the screen. Blake Griffin was just getting eaten up all day tonight, and honestly, it's not his fault. He was stepping up on the screen. It wasn't like the Chicago Bull game where they were messing up on defensive rotations and Tony Bradley was giving up open threes. That's not what was happening in this game. Steph Curry looked like Steph Curry. He was making them ridiculous threes from deep, man. And Blake Griffin was getting cooked, and you can't blame Blake Griffin. You can't, man. That's Steph Curry. That's just what he is. And I got to give Andrew Wiggins a shout out to. Only played 22 minutes tonight, but had 19 points on 7 of 11 shooting from the field. Andrew Wiggins, his game looks polished right now. He's looking really good in his Warriors offense. His mid-range game looks really good. And defensively, I've always been high on Andrew Wiggins defensively. He looked really, really, really good tonight. And a game where, you know, in the first half, it was close. KD was playing great in the first half, and then he cooled off in the third quarter. The Warriors only had a 5-point lead to end the first half. And going into the second half, they go on an 8-0 run, timeout. You know, James Harden comes, makes the game a little bit closer. But then Andrew Wiggins commit his 4th foul. Steve Kerr takes him out the game. And then later during the game, Steph Curry commits his 4th foul, and then Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins doesn't play for the rest of the third quarter. The Warriors have a 13-point lead at this point. Kevin Durant and James Harden are on the floor, and the Golden State Warriors were managed to push the lead from 13 to 22 to end the half. Last year, they'd probably be down 22 with Steph Curry and Andrew Wiggins out. But this year, the Warriors offense, the players that they added, have made this offense much more dynamic and much more better. They have. And Kevin Durant, after I said he had a good first half, stunk it up in the second half was 0 for 8 from the field, man. Kevin Durant was 0 for 8 from the field in the third quarter. He only scored 3 points in the combined second half. KD has to be better than that. And you got to give credit to Draymond Green and his defense. Draymond Green, I still believe, doesn't get enough credit for the defense he does for the Warriors, man. He really, really anchors the defense. And if I'm being completely optimistic right now, I know I want Bam to win Defensive Player of the Year, but currently right now, it's Draymond, and it's not close. Honestly, it's not close, Heat fans. It's not. It's Draymond. Like, the games I've watched Draymond play for the Warriors, he is their heart and soul defensively. The same way for Bam, but Draymond is just taking it up a notch this season so far currently. And that's why they're one of the best defensive teams in the league. And I do have to talk about James Harden today because he did start off slow in the first quarter. He had like 3 turnovers in the first 5 minutes. But towards the tail end of the second quarter and then the third quarter, he looked all right. I'm not going to say all right. He looked actually good. He was getting to the rim easily at will, creating a ton of opportunities for teammates. And he was controlling the pace really, really well. But the problems I did have with James Harden was that he was really slow defensively. But I believe James Harden is a better defender than that. Even though, Shaq and the Fool clowns him for a couple of years where in some plays he's just not playing defense at all. James Harden has become a better defender. And while I'm on this subject, we need to stop this notion that Steph Curry is some bad defender, guys. He's not anymore. He's not, and it's been like that for the last year. It's been like that for the last year, and I'm not joking. I'm not even going to bring up the defensive stats because he's on top right now. He's on top right now in terms of point guards, but he's been really good defensively. And with this new foul rule, he can be more aggressive. Even though he racked up 4 quick fouls, but he looks great defensively right now, and it's been like that for the last year. He's not some poor defender like he used to be. He's an actual good defender now. I would say Stephen Curry is a good defender. And who did I not even touch on? Who did I not? Gary Payton the second. How did I forget him? Looked really good tonight. I haven't even talked about him, but he's just one of those electric players. Has crazy bounce, and just like his dad, is really, really good defensively. Gary Payton II is like that, and he's grinded his way to this point, and he deserves it. He deserves it. He deserves every social media post because he didn't get it easy. He was in the G League. I heard the commentators talking about it. I think for like 120 games he played in the G League. Like, that's not like, he had to grind for where he's at now. He can't say that was due to his father. He actually put in the work, and he's in the situation now. And like I stated earlier, this was just one of the bad games for Kevin Durant. In the first half he looked great, and in the second half he was really, really poor. And it's just that situation. The Nets didn't have Joe Harris or Nicholas Claxton, but you can't make that excuse. Joe Harris wasn't going to change life defensively, maybe offensively, but I would argue that wasn't really the problem with the Nets. It was their defense and rebounding. 2 problems about the Nets that we all knew going into the season, and we all had last year. The Golden State Warriors out-rebounded them 53 rebounds to 38, and points in the paint 52 to 36. You're not winning any games even if you shoot lights out. You're not going to win any games if you're allowing the Warriors to get that many rebounds on you when they don't have that much more size than you. They really don't. And then you're allowing them to score that many easy buckets. You're just not. And this was the problem I've had with the Brooklyn Nets. Most of their wins aren't really signature wins if we actually look down in the list. And they really do miss Kyrie. And I've spoke about this, is that with Kyrie, they have an unworldly offense. They really do. But without Kyrie, they're still a really, 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 really good offense. Don't sugarcoat that. They're still really, really good. But they don't have that unworldly offense they do when they have Kyrie Irving, which can't mask their defensive liability. You saw that they didn't play LaMarcus Aldridge until Steph Curry went out in the third quarter, until he got in foul trouble, because LaMarcus Aldridge would have been getting cooked on those screens if he played. So it minimizes the depth you can use against the Golden State Warriors if your goal is to win a championship. And I predicted that the Golden State Warriors will come out the West even before the season started. And it's going to minimize. The Nets could still come out the East. Let's not sugarcoat that. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying it's much more easier to beat them when they don't have Kyrie, because they won't have that unworldly offense they do. And they're going to have to expect KD and James Harden to play at all-time levels consistently during the playoffs. While the Golden State Warriors, I feel like they're in the position they were in 2015, where they have Curry, they have Clay when Clay does come back, and then they still have Poole. I feel like that's enough to win a championship. Offensively, your offensive power, those three, that's enough to win a championship. And defensively, you're going to be a monster. Not even name Andrew Wiggins. And the MVP race right now, I would say Curry, KD's still there, and Jokic, because everybody be forgetting about Jokic. Those three, and I'll add even Paul George to it. Those four are the MVP front runners, and they're going to be for the season, because that's the media narratives. They're going to drive that Curry and KD battle. They're going to drive it this entire season. And once again, they're probably going to forget Jokic, because, they've been disrespecting Jokic too much. Even because I still haven't made a video about Jokic yet, let alone after the game. And I'm going to have to make after the games about other teams, because I'm being one-dimensional right now. I've only been making after the games for big market teams. I'm trying to explore and make more videos like this, and I'm gonna try to make an official video later this week, guys. So stay tuned. Make sure you guys like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and your boy Dream Hoops is out, man. Peace.